For over a year and a half, the Frodsham Foundation have been activating citizens and inquiring about their views and opinions of the use of the Frodsham Goodshed and beyond to the social, cultural and economic development of the town and region as part of an open, democratic, inclusive process. After networking, building on previous consultation phase, advertising on the Frodsham Foundation website and the distribution of over 2,000 leaflets, people from the town were invited to attend 7 sessions depending on their interest: sustainability, hospitality, business, social, creativity, tourism and impact. Sessions took place in the disused Frodsham Goodshed. A local company provided a marquee, heating and lighting so that participants could stay together for an hour and a half each session. The outcome of the process was that different levels of action and activities were mapped, creating value for the people and businesses of Frodsham.
Inclusive and welcoming. Although we do talk massively about it being arty and creative and so on and so forth, I think it should be welcoming to people who can actually be a little bit scared off by the arty in terms of, oh, I'm not arty so I can't get involved.
That could be by having meetings, it could be by showing best practice, getting things talked about in the local media.
Overlay our respective reasons for being here on top of each other. So we were talking about how we might be able to, for example, create heritage trails around the town.
Could we make it adaptable so that you could book a small meeting space?
Chain shops and independent shops, bespoke things.
Pop-up space so that if you wanted to host an event.
We were just saying it needs to operate almost like a tourist information point where particularly people from out of the area can come to find out what they can do in the area.
Opportunities that could be here for using it as a social centre where people, rather than being sent to or dragged to, are attracted to.
Choose to go.
You know, they wish to come here.
Rehearsal rooms.
You use it to meet somebody.
There was nowhere to go that was a safe, creative, warm, brilliant place other than the official toddler groups, so which were 9 till 10, and then what do you do? That you could go and have a coffee, put your baby down on the floor, and and that they welcome the noise of the baby or whatever. So a space like that where they could have a wet play area, and mums could sit and talk and connect, and young and old are all together and everything like that. So
a venue for theatre or for gigs or for expressing yourself just generally with workshops.
Something we can celebrate. People would come in and enjoy being with us.
Yeah, like a beacon.
Yeah.
Continue with the flexibility that all the chairs could go for other uses of that space.
Maybe half the young population that would want to go to the youth club. The others wouldn't be interested in that. They just want to go out and just relax and have a chat in somewhere that's nice, warm and welcoming.
All of a sudden it turned an empty building into a home in a matter of hours.
So it's not just heritage, it's heritage meets everything else. It's not just having a nice meal out, it's having a nice meal out because you're doing something else in the afternoon. Or
there are a lot of things you can't do unless you're with other people as a team.
No ownership of the spaces, you come and go as you please.
If we're going to make it a creative space, then we should take full advantage of that. Like, if we're going to have a meeting room, let's make it with whiteboards and chalkboards and all sorts of creative resources for people to throw ideas around.
I think flexibility of spaces is key because if you want to have your official meeting with someone and feel a bit better, you can do that. If you want to have something that's a little bit more in keeping with being a bit crazier, you can do that. You can just do whatever you want with the space.
You can actually get all those pods up in the top if people wanted to go, and we were talking about shutting themselves away to do some work, but also the ability to be open, and you can almost have some pods up there or workspaces that you can go into be on your own, but within a nice environment, and then come down and then start to intermingle more. And then actually, if you want to come and socialise and relax, you come to the cafe at the bottom, and you're in that place because that's where you want to be at that time.
Restful place to sit and watch things going on.
Maybe it is just a flexible working place that you can go when you're actually wanting to interact with other people.
You see these these farmhouse cottage designs, and they leave a wall.
Yeah.
So they can remember what happened, and I think that's important here still, because it's still the railway, isn't it? It's still an important part of the past.
Yeah.
Straight on cue.
You know that sound well. Be given the creativity to work the way they want to.
Almost speak in shorthand, because you just don't have to have the formalities, because you accept each other straight away.
So I wonder if this could be seen as a stepping stone for people who want to try businesses.
The shops that or whatever is going to be available here, that is all connected, is all linked to the arts. I put here in a position like no chain shops, and it's more like independent shops, bespoke things.
Well, you mentioned putting solar on the roof, didn't you? Suggesting that we generate our own power.
Could we build a system that the walls could be opened up so you could have bigger productions and maybe like vintage fairs and other community happenings, so you can operate on different scales. Yeah.
So I wonder if this could be seen as a stepping stone for people who want to try businesses.
Vertical grow area on the south facing wall, aquaponics tanks that grow the fish, seed library for heirloom seeds.
Yeah, locally sourced, content. So, businesses, food, people, place, offer people for the people, but not being exclusive.
You've got a business need, and there's a database there of people locally that you can go, right, well, actually I need a graphic designer today. Here's a list of 6 that work in Frodsham.
Generate opportunities for employment for apprentices who could come in and work with it and learn sustainability skills to take outside. Now that could be a whole range of things, ranging from sustainability on food, to technical sustainability of the building, and society sustainability, how to impact change on society, because young people of the future are going to be the people who are going to do this.
How it starts off might not be, well, it can't be necessarily how it goes on. It needs to evolve.
Keep itself going financially, ecologically, socially.
Yeah.
So it's not just you do it, it carries on for a bit and then stops.
Beyond the shed, it's the building, but activities in it, and activities run from here as well. So healthy walks could be run from here. You needn't necessarily be in the shed and come back for a coffee and a soup made from our local allotment. To run the building as a core thing, but then put activity on top.
Got to be a buzz, not just with visitors, but with Frodsham residents.
Yeah. Moving from the building being a showcase building to actually being one that's commonplace and it's part of the community and people are using it. It's not just that, look at what we've done. It's commonplace.
And it's not a museum, it constantly evolves with new fresh ideas and new people.
Definitely.
If it becomes known as somewhere where it's all offices and digital businesses, people aren't going to want to shop there. It's not going to be considered a shopping centre.
I think it needs to be a destination for out of the area too.
First 2 images are actually linked for me, and this is represents 2 things. One, it's sustaining of motion, it's sustainability. It's a form of extending something beyond its normal limit. And the second part of it is presenting the image and our work on sustainability to a wider audience, both individually and as a team.
Building's not going to change the world, but actually it'd be a starting point to changing some people's mind about sustainability and how they can impact upon it.
Might I be a big part of this? What could be here for me?
It isn't just getting the building done, it's what comes out of the building afterwards.
A hive thinking
Yeah.
base. So the hive, it generates the ideas, it's the bee-like, it's the area of the...
Yeah, you can define the space doesn't find you or what happens in it. I think that's a real key thing.
And the whole hive resonates with that message in order to transmit it.
I thought it had to be a bright, light place. Extended opening hours, open all hours.
Definitely down to a community to drive forward.
Point where particularly people from out of the area can come to find out what they can do in the area.
But I just want to link to that, that we want information for Frodsham residents. It's got to be a buzz, not just with visitors, but with Frodsham residents.
Yeah.
And because we have a great arts centre, there's a great community association, but it all needs to come together.
Whereas a more community-based and partnership route to get to this, where everyone has some dialogue and everyone realises that possibly to get these improvements has to be development, and the developer realises to get that development there's got to be improvements. And if that can be done over a pint, over a no-brand coffee, it'll make for a far more productive and rewarding process for everyone, I guess. And it's almost starting with this complete blank canvas from what everyone wants and what it can be.